Hello, friends. Let's do a little yoga for our hips and hearts. And in the meantime, we'll be just paying extra careful attention to the joints, especially the ankles, knees, and wrists. First, come into a seat and just get comfortable. Sitting upright, warm the neck, wiggle left and right, get the sits bones on the mat, and then just take a minute and take a breath. Bring the hands into prayer and just let the mind try to quiet down for a few moments. Nice big breath in and bring the arms up overhead. Then back down to prayer. Exhale. Start taking your time and just kind of reaching into the twist to the right side. And then reach over to the left and do the same. Wiggle the legs and kind of pull them in to the seat. Go left and right a couple times and even change the positioning of your legs. So like you're crisscrossing, the other one goes on top. And just go back and forth a couple times. Reaching into the neck muscles, the middle back, lower back. Wiggling the ankles around. Then just start opening up the knees, taking the legs wide left and right. Just open the knees, wiggle the ankle, open the knees, wide stance, wiggle the ankle. And then another breath back into prayer. We're going to just start warming the wrists a little. So take the wrist behind you and just lean back into those arms and sort of stretch the legs long a little left and right. My left heel is really bummed today, so I'm going to be super gentle and a little different with it, the movements. You may not see it go all the way down to the ground. And then we're going to come on to all fours. Once you get there, we're going to take the knees a little bit wider than we would normally for tabletop, just to let that body warm up. Sit back on the knees and just warm up those wrists, make a couple of circles. And then we're going to intentionally warm each wrist. Flex that left wrist backwards and breathe into it. Make a couple of circles and then do the same with the right. Nice and careful, perfect amount of pressure that feels good to you and your body on that side of the body. And then, when ready, come into table and start to drop the belly with a breath in and go up into our first cow pose. Look over the right, look over the left. Let the belly sort of reach to the ground. Press into the knees and the toes. Sit back and forward a few times, leaning back onto almost sitting back on the heels, warming up that space. And then exhale the spine up into cat. Do the same thing. For these next couple of movements, it's going to be a little more dynamic and a little intuitive. Drop the belly, come into cow, and then exhale, blow the spine back up into cat. Do this a couple more times. Just moving through cat-cow with your body. And then we're going to start to do a little bit of a lift with the knees, but from tabletop. So when we'll be in table, but just lift the knees. And then sit back in child's pose. Inhale, lift the knees. Exhale, let it come down gently, back into child's pose. Inhale, sit up and lift the knees. Exhale, sit back into child's pose. One more time, inhale and hold it up, pressing into the toes, and then back into child's pose. I like to do everything in threes. Do what feels good to you. If you're moving faster, maybe you want more. If you want to lift and hold, do what feels good. Inhale and look forward and just walk the palms all the way to the left and then relax the head down again like an extended side child's pose. Inhale, lift the gaze, and looking at the palms, walk the palms back over to the middle and then to the right side. Relax the head down, extended side child pose on the other side. Take a nice breath and relax. Now just gently bring the body back to the middle and then sit back up on the knees. We're going to work through a little bit of camel here. We're going to go real slow, warming up the body. If sitting on the knees is not super comfortable, I like to give a little cushion. If you can't do it at all, don't. I'm going to fold my mat in half and then sit my knees right on top because, again, cushion. And as you're doing that, you're just imagining sitting the knees not all the way close together, but kind of close. More lining the legs up like a mountain pose. Now we're going to inhale and just start to find our way up to a sitting upright onto the knees. And then we're going to work with our arms, spine, and ankles. So first, just be in this space and sit the ankles up and down, one by one, left and right. Point the ankles like flex and then down. And then do the ankles and alternate arms. Ankles go. So we press the toes into the ground, lift the left, let the feet relax. Point the toes into the ground, lift the right, let the feet relax. And just kind of go back and forth, flexing the ankles and then letting them stretch long and then raising an arm on each side. While you're raising the arm extended to the sky, look up at the fingers, but don't drop your head on the spine. And with your down arm, imagine driving that energy and anchoring strength through that middle body with the breath. Now take both arms above the head and just hold that there for a second. Inhale, support the body and round that back bend into a nice nuzzled child's pose. If you can go all the way down or however close you can get to a fold here. I like to go all the way down. If it feels better, open the knees, keep the toes together and go in that way. I'm going to just turn my position so you can see working into camel pose. Line up the knees. And the hands, first I'm going to breathe the arms up above the head and reach back into that back bend again. Just looking. And then sit up straight. Inhale, looking with the arms, sit up straight. So this is upper back belly. And as I'm pressing, the tops of my feet and belly are really supportive here. Come back into the middle and do a little bit of that twist right and left with the hands into prayer. Just keeping the whole spine warming up as we go. Then take another breath in and send the arms up high. Sit back on the heels once more. Again, I got a boo-boo heel, so. And just round the back in. We're going to do a little bit of dynamic flowing here with our camel. If it doesn't feel good to move as quick as I do, don't. If it feels good to move faster, do that too. Just imagine sending your heart forward and supporting your neck. Inhale and exhale. Take the arms nice and wide and then placing the palms at that lower spine, fingers face down, thumbs away. Start pressing into that lower back and looking up with the head and heart. Each breath in, the pelvis reaches a little more forward and the heart reaches a little more forward, but don't drop the head on the spine. Take a breath in and then support the belly round into child's pose again. Again, the threes. So we'll take a breath in. Sit back up on the knees, reach the arms above the head, hands down at the side, and then line them up for camel again. Palms at that lower spine. Take a breath in and just start pressing. Almost like your palms are pressing that that lower part of the belly really forward. If you can see, I'm not dropping the head on the spine. You don't want to do that. You don't want to damage the neck. Exhale, round the spine, support the body, fold back over. If child's pose feels better with wide knees, do that. If a couple of times it feels better to have them closed, do that. Let this all be warming and moving with your body. Take a breath in, reach the arms up, open the arms wide. Place them on the small of the back and look up into camel once again. Maybe this time try reaching down, one arm left, one arm right. Then bringing the hands back to the small of the back and then rounding over into child's pose once more. Sit up one more time. Breathe the arms up nice and high. We're going to set up for camel one more time. Inhale, bring the heart forward. Inhale, looking forward. And this time, maybe reaching the arms down again. Maybe both arms can reach. And hold on to that for a breath. And then exhale, round the spine. Go back into child's pose again. One more time. This time, let's see if we can get a little bit of movement into the arms and the back. Again, the speed is yours. So, you know the way. We inhale, sit up, breathe the arms up. Exhale, they open up. Place the hands at the lower spine. Breathe forward into camel up. And then let's inhale, drop one arm, lift the opposite, and sort of rotate back and forth that way. Alternating one arm raised and one arm reached down to the heel. Go back and forth a few times with the breath, and then round the spine, find child's pose again. I was intuitively led to place a little triangle with my hands and my third eye at this point. I was really loving that feeling of connection with my third eye chakra from warming up all that heart. Inhale, send the arms up once more and open that body up. Put the hands on the back for camel and just start reaching up into that dynamic stretch again. Maybe there's a little bit more movement in the spine. Maybe you're almost reaching forward with every alternate. Make it yours. And then back down to child's pose. Last time, give it all you got. Inhale, send the arms up. Exhale, long and far and wide. Place the hands at that camel space. Start alternating your arms. Reaching really strong into your camel. Maybe reach back with both arms. And then exhale, rounding into child's pose. Making third eye contact if possible. Maybe using two fists if that's better. Now, we're going to come onto the back. If you rolled your mat like me, let it back long and then carefully lay the body down onto the mat. I'm hugging my whole body in, hugging the knees into the belly, lean left, lean right. Lifting the bum away, lift the head away. Lift the bum, lift the head. My whole back is really flat on the ground. Start to open the knees up to the sky, just bending, 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 bending. And then start wiggling the hips left and right. And then start to do that little opening with the knees again. Just opening up the body, wiggling left and right. Take your time. Support your legs. Put your hands on your legs. If you can reach behind the shins, you can do that. If you want to reach behind the thighs, do that. Inhale and just take one leg into the arms and send the other leg long. Do a couple stretches and then do a couple of down flat, feet flat on the floor. We're going to do a little bit of bridge move, just a little bit. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, let them down. I always like to wiggle my hips left and right when I land. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, back down one vertebrae at a time. Then a little left and right with the hips. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms. Hold it for a breath. Exhale, slowly back down to the ground. A little bit of hips left and right. One more time, inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms. Holding it for a breath, and then exhale, bringing it back down one vertebrae at a time. Let the legs go long a minute, and then hug them back up. We're going to play in a little bit of happy baby here, but we're going to work into this happy baby. Give the body one more squeeze. Then just start to open and fold the knees. Reach your way into happy baby and start grabbing onto something on your body, whether it's the toes. And we're just going to lean a little left and right, opening up those knees. Maybe your hands are just at the backs of the thighs. That's fine. We're just kind of wiggling. See how my hand can go behind the thigh. It doesn't matter, but have your hands on your legs. On the ankles, same thing. Lean left, lean right. Open and close your knees on both sides. And then come into that child's pose space. Again, hands on the body, whether it's behind the thighs, up on the legs, up on the shins, whatever feels good to you. If you can grab the ankles, you could do that. Some people grab their pant leg. Some people grab onto their feet. Maybe you can ground more in. I like to take my index fingers and kind of hook my toes. That feels so good. And just breathe into that big, open, spacious space, bringing and grounding them hips into the body. And as you have that grounding space, if it feels good, start to stretch those knees nice and wide. Again, hands can be behind the thighs. It still feels powerful. Feet are powerfully flexed. They're not pointed. They're like mountain pose feet, you know? I'm being intentional with my movements. I want to be strong. I want to be strong. Bring the feet down and take them a little left, right again. Wiggle the body, wiggle the body. Wiggle it all out and just start to melt, melt, melt. Let's take a little break. Pick up the foot and just start to lay it down. Start to take up as much space as you can on your mat. Let the body know that it's time to sort of take a moment. We're just going to take a few minutes and rest. Taking the legs, let's pick up one leg and just kind of gently drop it. Pick up the other leg and drop it. Pick up the arm and drop it. Pick up the other arm and drop it. Lift your head and rest it. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, blow it all the way away. Another big breath in. Relax, relax, relax. Nothing to do but just breathe for a few moments. Honoring the movements we've shown up for. And taking away no judgment, just appreciation. Take your time and roll into one side for just another minute more. Just snuggle up in the body. Maybe then start to let the eyes blink open gently. Scan the room a little. One of my favorite things I used to do was find things to focus on, just random things. And this time I opened my eyes and I saw a bunch of rectangles. And then I saw a bunch of squares. And for some reason made me smile. It was kind of fun. I was like, I like my four-sided angle friends. Thank you for being here. Keeping the body inward, sit up. And then bring the hands into prayer once more. Thank yourself for showing up today. Breathe into the hands on the belly, into the palms and the hearts. Just give yourself a hug. Thank you, self. Thank you, self. Thank you, self. I love you. Thank you for practicing with me today, friends. I hope you enjoyed this.